Okay. Good morning. This is day 74 of videos to describe some sane thoughts in the life of schizophrenic Dominic and express some sanity that I have amidst the world going crazy and telling everybody that I was insane and diseased. In day 45 and day 17 of these videos, I have them pinned to my social media accounts, Blue Sky, Threads, and Facebook, and they describe why I make these videos in the first place. On day 17, it describes why I choose to call myself schizophrenic rather than targeted individual. And I've written a book. If you like what I have to say, or maybe, I don't know, if you're just curious, I've written a book called Unveiling the Schizophrenic Tradition, where I describe technologies and thoughts that I have that could have gotten me targeted for a program that creates schizophrenic infliction on people, and the technologies and operations and organized efforts to experiment with the schizophrenic in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to start here today with talking about something that's related to the schizophrenic reality, but the war in Israel or the wars in the Middle East or whatever is a part of like 1984, and you're seeing something go on with college campuses where there's now a war being waged on intellectualism, and we're in danger of universities crumbling and being under the boot of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. And they're arresting a Palestinian activist named Mahmoud Khalil. And so I've questioned, wars in the Middle East and their veracity, as well as whether they're not part of a big brother operation in which both sides of the wars are controlled, either through false flags or even false countries, even like the whole countries themselves are controlled as part of controlled demolitions and things like that. And I actually questioned in my book whether or not there's like a dual genocide planned, or what if the war in the Israel to be Palestine, if the Hamas October 7th was a false flag, which it seems like that's possible, whether or not it's done to create wars on intellectualism in the United States, with when you have these medieval combatant zones that happened on the college campuses afterwards. And now you're seeing a crackdown on college campuses and free speech. And I guess we've seen it for a while, but it's the way the issue is being used to as a pretext to war on college campuses. And so I shared that article. The Political kind of had the headline that said that, so it makes you wonder, like, do they know something about it, or I don't know. So I mean, I'm like I say, I'm just the schizophrenic here in the middle of all these things, and I witnessed these things, and I have thoughts about them on that level. So if in any event, war is being waged on college campuses and free speech related to the Israel Hamas war. And so yeah, okay. And so we're living in basically some sort of dictatorship. If you're not going to allow protest and you're going to kick people out of the country for speaking their minds. So it's been going that way for a while. Malala Joya, when she came to the United States after criticizing the NATO and U.S. government in Afghanistan, Hillary Clinton revoked her visa and didn't let her come and speak. Uh, this is taking it a step further because this person was a student in the United States. And so this is now going to a next step, which is what happens. All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a moment. And all right, I'm gonna get into a few things that I have written in my notes. I talk about little things every day, and I tried a meat diet to lose some weight, and it worked, and I lost about 6 pounds. But I just got sick of the meat, and it's probably killing my heart. And I was eating beef and sausage and just all that junk or whatever. And I think I've gone now back to the yogurt and nuts and vegetables and things like that. So I'm trying to weigh in every day and see where I at. If I like to eat the same meal on a diet because I like to just get down on my weight and then go with like a maintenance plan after that. So hopefully I could get down on my weight. And I've lost 6 pounds. I want to lose about 25 more and get myself down to about 170, 175. And I feel like that's doable. And I'm hopefully going to do it. So 6 pounds down. Great Hall Yankee Stadium. All right, I was reading in my Reiki book. The Great Hall in Yankee Stadium looks pretty cool. Uh, I didn't realize they had a Great Hall there like that, and it looks really interesting. And I want to go to Yankee Stadium and visit that Great Hall where they have all the players, and it looks like it's on the outside of the lead into Yankee Stadium or whatever. So I just reading that in my baseball book, so I thought that was kind of cool, and I would like to do that. All right, so in my book, let me see if I can grab it here. This book called Simulated Multiverse. It talks about a philosopher at one of the Ivy League schools or MIT or something, and it talks about Nick Bostrom, and he basically said that if a civilization can create a simulation that is really lifelike, or if a civilization can create a simulation that is reality-like, and it's hard to tell the difference between reality and the simulation, that probably we might be in a simulation. And I experienced some amount of something going on with this, with like the dream hacking and stuff like that. It was intergalactic. It's like it's you're tapped into some sort of other reality in your dreams. You can feel things. You can. It's so real. And where are you when that happens? And what is in our brains that gives us connection to these things? And so maybe it's the multiverse. Maybe it's a simulated multiverse. So, and I just wonder, like, am I a schizophrenic in every multiverse? If there is a multiverse, and if it is simulated, I started wondering, maybe this is my schizophrenic reality where I'm the center of everything in this reality because of in this reality I'm chosen as a schizophrenic. But maybe I'm a schizophrenic in every reality. I don't know. So uh I just wondered that, and like, are we, in the multiverse, what do we have going on? I know in one of my dreams I was a baseball player, and I was really fit or whatever. I was a really fit baseball player, and I was buff and fit. Another one, I was a soccer player, and I was like, in the dream I was doing all these soccer moves and stuff. And like, I can't do that now in this reality. But it's I don't know. It's really weird, and yeah. All right, so David A. Hughes, in my book on uh, COVID-19 and psychological operations and war for technocracy, he discusses that COVID-19 was a massive conspiracy and that it was a big psychological operation. And I don't know how much I can follow him on that. I happen to know that in my case that they were manipulating numbers to equate with my scale as I was losing weight during that time, and they wanted me to get on camera. That's why they had all those people get on camera. Here I am on camera, but I don't know what the point of it all was. I I probably didn't do what they wanted me to do on camera, so it's like so the conspiracy of the psyop. I don't know if David Hughes is the psyop. I don't know if he's telling the truth about like a conspiracy or he says it's doable by compartmentalization. And okay, so maybe there's compartmentalization, and that's how you can have these massive conspiracies and psychological operations. And that gets me back into the 1984 thing with Israel and Hamas. If you have compartmentalization, maybe you could run a false flag in Israel. And so, yeah, so compartmentalization is how these supposed conspiracies exist. And my question is, could there be some sort of really high tech civilization that has mind reading and stuff like that? Or is it the government that has mind reading? Is there a organization, secret society within the government that has all those things that I don't really know? I'm just here at the center of these things and I experience them. In Homo Deus, uh, the author talks about Homo sapiens being the big bully who conquer the world, and he said he questions whether or not the death of humanism may be end up being a good thing and considered good in the future with the death of pharaohs and the death of God. And so I don't know if what he means by I'm gonna have to get into a little bit more in the reading. I don't know if he means by death of humanism, does he mean humanity? I don't think he does. I think he means humanism, in which we view ourselves as the center of everything. And so, yeah, it's apropos that as I'm reading this, and this is the synchronicity comes in, I'm, uh, I basically went to a veggie diet today that I think I can maintain. I'll probably be tempted by meat that my dad cooks in the house, and I probably won't stay a vegetarian. But my diet today is all veggies because I got sick of the meat, and so it's like it's synchronizing with that, and it's like it's messaging me. The universe is messaging me like humanism, conquering the world, being the big bully. It's telling me something about that as I sit here and eat yogurt and eggs and stuff. So uh, I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking today. So that's the synchronicity of the schizophrenic experience, where you're reading out of books and it lines up with like random things you're doing and how it all kind of fit into one. So then you're just wondering, like, are you experiencing this through mind control, or is this the simulated universe and stuff? And I'm reading all this stuff, and it's like it's really bizarre. And yeah, so that's the big stories today. Not big stories, but that's my notes today. I'm going to go ahead and probably stop here. But it's very scary what's going on with the universities and this Palestinian activist. And as Big Brother is using that conflict in the Middle East and the response to the conflict as pretext to war on intellectualism and shut down universities. And that's what the Trump administration is doing, and it makes you wonder, is it all a huge scheme to do that? And I don't know, maybe it's a way. And Trump even says we're waging war on the West. And Tucker Carlson, the way he talks about it from his white supremacy standpoint, and it's like they're basically saying it while pretending to be against it and then doing it. So like they're shutting down universities and saying like they're doing it to save the West when they're actually doing it to destroy the West. And so, yeah. All right, I gotta go. Goodbye.